Alright guys, I hope that somebody is taking notes, because my god, what Ubisoft has done to their own company, to their own goodwill, in just a year's time, it's truly baffling. It's something to behold. A lot of people have probably forgotten by now, Ubisoft started off this year with their first big title release, their quadruple A release as they called it, being Skull and Bones, a game that was absolutely doomed from the start. It was supposed to be the spiritual successor of Black Flag, an Assassin's Creed title that we all loved and played. And of course, you know, this was around the same time that the CEO came out and said, don't get used to owning your own games, get used to essentially not owning your own stuff. Really ominous words. Well, this game flopped. It tanked. I don't know if they've even made a dime off this game yet. They eventually put it on Steam because they just couldn't make any money off their own launcher. They even had like an 8-hour trial. You could check the game out. And much like Concord's beta, they just couldn't get people interested in the game. Then, of course, they released Star Wars Outlaws, a game that has massively underperformed, and they put out a big statement today that we're going to go through involving this as well as Assassin's Creed Shadows. One of the parts of it saying, in response to player feedback, Ubisoft's development teams are currently fully mobilized to swiftly implement a series of updates to polish and improve the player experience in order to engage a large audience during the holiday season to position Star Wars Outlaws as a strong, long-term performer. In other words, this game has been a massive disappointment for them, but that's not all. So they were supposed to have 3 big releases this year, Assassin's Creed Shadows being the bookend at the end of the year for essentially their quarter 4. Well, here we have them now announcing that the game has been delayed to 2025 and it will launch on Steam on day 1, which I find fascinating because it tells you 2 things. One, that they're worried about the current climate of the game if they release it right now in the current state that it's in. And 2, that they're desperate for sales because the pre-order numbers are low, so they're going to launch it on Steam, hoping to attract the PC player base from the get-go. And the funny thing about that is we'll be able to track the game's player count now that it'll be on Steam, so we'll get a more accurate representation of how many people are actually playing this game. But that's not even the half of it. We're going to get into the insanity of them choosing to release this game in February of next year in just a few minutes here. So you can see this announcement that says, or excuse me, I'm still dealing with a little bit of a sore throat. Assassin's Creed Shadows will now be released on February 14th, 2025, Ubisoft said. While the game is feature complete, the learnings from the Star Wars Outlaws release led us to provide additional time to further polish the title. This will enable the biggest entry in the franchise to fully deliver on its ambition, notably by fulfilling the promise of our dual protagonist adventure with Naue and Yasuke bringing 2 very different gameplay styles. And I have commented before, we have talked about this, how essentially Assassin's Creed has lost its roots. It's lost essentially its sense of self, and it's become another bloated, massive RPG style game rather than what it started off as. So this is going to be very interesting when this game comes out to even see if moving it to February has any effect at all. And of course you can see, again, another example of why they might be choosing to do this, being this most recent disaster, the broken Torii Gate that they were going to use in their merchandising, symbolizing the events of World War II and the nuclear bombs being dropped. Just a complete slap in the face for Japanese people. Not a good look for Ubisoft. And in their statement here, once again, they address the fact that Star Wars Outlaws initial sales proved softer than expected. So for everybody else who's been out there saying, oh, the game did great, the game's fine, what are you talking about? The game underperformed massively. So let's just, all agree right now that Star Wars Outlaws is not the 10 out of 10, best-selling title that a lot of people would want it to be. But speaking about 10 out of 10 best-selling titles, if you want to pick up a copy of Warhammer Space Marine 2 right now, it's available through Instant Gaming for $49.45. You can also pick up Crusader Kings 3 Roads to Power, Black Myth Wukong if you haven't picked that up yet, Final Fantasy 16, and of course the one that I'm looking forward to, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. They got the gold edition for pre-order right now for $62. This game I am super excited about, but again, Instant Gaming has got a lot of different titles available. 4.7 out of 5-star rating with Trustpilot, and of course my giveaway, guys, is still going for about another 4.5 days, so you got time. Check out the link in the description, go check out Instant Gaming, sign up for the giveaway, win a key for any game that you want on the site. Again, massive thank you to them for sponsoring the channel. So, now we have Ubisoft's board launching an investigation into the struggles that the company is currently enduring. And this is really bad because you remember, Ubisoft has a European Union Commission, essentially a team, a committee going after them for legal issues where they might have actually broken European law based on their predatory microtransactions. And now we're seeing that they're trying to understand what is going on internally with the company about their games underperforming and exactly, essentially, where all the money's going and what's being done to damage this company from within. And you can see why. Look at the stock price. The last couple of days, it has just dropped massively. I'm sure these people are terrified. I am sure that they are scared, running for the hills like, oh my God, what's going on? We thought we were sitting pretty. If you go back just a couple of years ago, guys, I mean, they were doing so much better. If you look back here, it was phenomenal, but all of a sudden now they've dropped down to under 11.5 euros. Terrible. I mean, the wheels are essentially falling off at this point. But in spite of all this, their CEO, Yves Guillemot, who has been out there calling people racists and bigots, remember in the past, for not loving the decisions that Ubisoft has made, he's out here now saying that the goal of the company is not to push any specific agenda. Despite the fact that this company has heavily employed tactics and, agendas in their games, trying to push messaging, trying to be all woke and inclusive. They even have this diversity, inclusion, and accessibility page on their website with their vision for their DEI future and agenda. But again, they are trying desperately now to try to earn some goodwill that they've lost with the vast majority of players. And this is the funniest part. They want to say that they are not pushing an agenda or a message, but they have now delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows to February of next year. Think about it, guys. Somebody pointed out to me, February of next year, that would be Black History Month. Okay, that's one thing, Black History Month. Another thing is that month, February, has a lot of games coming out, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, a game that may have not been on as many people's radars before, but with all of this crap kicking off with Sweet Baby Inc. and Gamergate 2, this game is going to do even better than the original for a lot of reasons. If you recall, Kingdom Come Deliverance was attacked as being a pro-Gamergate game from a pro-Gamergate developer, essentially being a racist historical game because they excluded, different people of different ethnicities they didn't have black people in it, so essentially they wanted to call the game racist, even though they had a wide range of ethnicities, just not black people. Again, Daniel Vavra saying that there was no propaganda in his game. He just wanted to have a, historical RPG. Well, this game actually did very well. If you go back and look at the numbers, sure, it wasn't like some, massive success, but they made money. When it was all said and done, I believe they had a net revenue estimated at about $43 million. And the game still has thousands of people playing it on Steam. The game's a lot of fun. I'm still trying to work my way through it. But not just Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. In February of next year, they are going to have to contend with Civilization 7. They're going to have to contend with Avowed, Monster Hunter Wilds, which is going to be massive at the end of the month, and Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza, which might have a smaller niche audience, but I think honestly, this game is also going to do exceptionally well. But what I find hilarious is that two of these games come out 3 days before Assassin's Creed Shadows. And like I said, Assassin's Creed is a series, a franchise that has essentially moved into more of an RPG style approach. And they are now going to have a game, a massive RPG, coming out 3 days before their title, which has already had a lot of bad press. So this tells me right now, look, I look at it this way. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, if it came out 3 years ago, 2 years ago even, might not have done as well as it could. But given the current state of things, given the knowledge of these DEI consulting firms, of Sweet Baby Inc. and all these other companies, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going to sell extra copies now, just given the fact that people are going to know about the developer, they're going to know about all the controversy and the way the media's attacked the first title. And based on the reception of Assassin's Creed Shadows so far, I can imagine that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going to eat quite a chunk out of the sales of Assassin's Creed Shadows. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Make sure you check out Instant Gaming. Like I said, they've got a lot of good deals on there right now, and I will catch you guys on the next one. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have two channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.